more time, but because the truth inside this person has finally grown louder than the fear of saying it. And Spirit is coming through so clearly with this message. Get ready for what you've been asking for, because they are about to reveal the truth. The first card I'm seeing here is Judgment. And wow, this is such a powerful way to open, because this is awakening, reckoning. Truth rising to the surface after being buried under hesitation, pride, confusion, timing, or emotional resistance. So what I'm getting is that this person has been living with something unspoken in their heart for a while now. They may have tried to rationalize it, ignore it, delay it, or keep themselves emotionally guarded. But that is not working anymore. Their inner world is reaching a point where silence feels heavier than honesty. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Ace of Swords. Beautiful, because this tells me the truth they are about to reveal is not messy, vague, or half-hidden. It is clear, sharp, direct. This person is getting ready to say something that cuts through all the old fog. And I have to say, this does not feel like a little maybe confession. This feels like someone who is finally ready to stop circling and speak from the real center of what they feel. That is why this reading feels so important. The truth coming from them is not a decoration, it is a turning point. I keep hearing something very clearly. I can't keep carrying this without saying it. That line lands right in the chest. Because it tells me this person is emotionally full of thoughts, memories, realizations, and held back words that have been pressing against the inside of them. And for many of you, what they are about to reveal is not only that they care, it is how long they have cared, how deeply they have been affected, and how much they have been trying to hide the full weight of it. The energy around you here feels like the High Priestess, and I love that so much because it tells me your intuition has probably already been picking something up. Even if there has been silence, even if there have been mixed signals, distance, or emotional confusion, Spirit is saying your deeper knowing has not been wrong. You may have felt that there was more beneath the surface than what was being shown, more feeling. More truth, more emotional movement. And yes, that is exactly what this reading is confirming. Then I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles, and that tells me this truth has taken time to ripen. This is not a sudden emotional outburst that appeared from nowhere. This has been building, growing quietly. Becoming heavier, clearer, and more difficult for them to deny. I feel like this person has been sitting with what they feel longer than you may realize. Watching, reflecting, thinking about timing, thinking about consequences, thinking about whether speaking up would change everything. And now Spirit is saying, yes, that moment is getting very, very close. Another message keeps rising strongly here. They know you deserve the real answer. That is such a beautiful message, because it tells me part of their awakening is not only about their own feelings, it is about you. It is about understanding that you deserve honesty, you deserve clarity. You deserve something more than confusion, guessing, emotional crumbs, or unanswered energy, and that awareness is changing the way they approach the situation now. They may still feel nervous, yes, but the sincerity in them is stronger than before, much stronger than the Lovers appears. And wow, that tells me the truth they are about to reveal carries heart. Choice recognition, meaning this is not just a practical update or a shallow admission, this is emotional truth. The kind that changes the energy between two people, because once it is spoken, everybody knows something real has entered the room. So the opening message in this reading is this: get ready, because the truth this person has been holding back is getting close to the surface. Now their silence is weakening. Their clarity is strengthening, and what they are about to reveal may be exactly what your spirit has been sensing all along, that there was always more here than what they allowed themselves to say out loud. And Spirit keeps whispering one more thing here. Do not mistake the delay for the absence of truth. Sometimes a heart has to break its own walls before it can speak clearly. This person is here now. The truth is not fading, it is gathering. And when it reaches your ears, it will feel less like a surprise and more like confirmation of what your soul knew before. What I'm getting here is that the truth they are about to reveal is not only about feeling, it is about why they stayed quiet for so long and what finally changed inside them. The first card I'm seeing here is the Hanged Man, and wow, this tells me they have been living in suspension, watching, thinking, revisiting every angle, trying to understand themselves before they dare to speak to you. I feel like this person has been caught between what they know in their heart and what they were afraid that truth would require from them in real life. So yes, the delay was real, but the delay was not emptiness. It was inner conflict. It was a person having to sit with themselves long enough to realize that silence was no longer wisdom. It was fear wearing a wise face. And right beside that, I'm seeing the moon in reverse. That is huge. Because this says the fog is lifting, the hidden feelings are becoming undeniable, the emotional confusion they tried to live under is starting to break apart. I keep hearing something very clearly, I can see it now, and I can't unsee it. That line lands deeply. Because it tells me the truth they are about to reveal comes after clarity, not before it. This person is not speaking because they are lost. They are speaking because they are finally found in their own heart. They have reached the point where whatever story they used to tell themselves no longer works. Whatever excuse once helped them delay no longer comforts them. Whatever emotional mask once felt useful now feels unbearable. The energy around you here feels like the star, and I love that so much because it tells me part of what is pulling the truth out of them is the realization that you are not something they can casually lose and then explain away later. Your energy feels meaningful to them. Healing Rare Spirit keeps showing me that your presence has continued to shine in their inner world, even while they were quiet. You did not disappear emotionally just because the words were delayed. If anything, the silence made your importance brighter. Then I'm seeing the Eight of Swords in reverse, and that confirms it even more. They are breaking out of the mental prison, out of overthinking, out of fear loops, out of the place where they kept themselves trapped by imagined outcomes. So if you have felt like this person was stuck, yes, they were, but they are not staying there. Something is opening now. Something is moving. And it feels like the truth is becoming their way out. Another message keeps rising strongly. I don't want to hide behind confusion anymore. That one is powerful. Because it tells me they are beginning to understand that unclear energy has its own cost. Silence has its own cost. Distance has its own cost. And for many of you, I feel the cost finally became too high. They may have realized that every day they stayed quiet, the truth did not get smaller. It got heavier, more urgent, more emotionally expensive to carry. Then the King of Cups appears, and wow, that tells me the truth they are about to reveal is emotionally mature, deep, measured, sincere. This person may still sound controlled when they speak, but do not mistake control for lack of feeling. The heart here is deep, very deep. I feel like one of the most striking things about what they say will be the steadiness of it. The seriousness of it, it is not going to feel like random emotion thrown in your direction. It is going to feel like someone standing in the center of their own heart and finally choosing not to look away. The message of this next movement is this: they are about to reveal the truth. Because the inner fog has broken, the emotional delay has reached its limit, and their heart can no longer live comfortably beneath what it knows. This is not only a confession of feeling, it is a confession of clarity, a confession that says, I know now. I understand now, and because I understand now, I have to speak. And Spirit keeps whispering one more thing here. The reason this truth is so close now is because the old version of them could live with uncertainty. This version cannot. This version wants light. This version wants honesty. This version wants the weight off their chest and the truth in your hands. So if you feel something gathering, if you feel the energy getting louder, if you feel like the silence has changed texture lately, you are not imagining it. The truth is not only near, it is preparing its own voice now. And once it begins, I do not feel this person will be able to go back to pretending that they never knew exactly what you meant to them. Because this time, the truth is not asking permission to exist. It is asking to be spoken aloud. What I'm getting here very strongly is that this person is not only about to reveal what they feel, they are about to reveal how long they have carried it, how deeply it has changed them, and how impossible it has become to keep pretending that this connection is something small. The first card I'm seeing here is the Seven of Cups in reverse. And wow, this tells me illusion is breaking. Emotional fog is breaking. The place where they could once hide behind confusion, timing, mixed feelings, or I'm not sure is collapsing. They are seeing clearly now. And I feel like part of what makes this moment so powerful is that they did not arrive at clarity lightly. They had to wrestle for it, sit with it, lose sleep over it, revisit it, deny it, and then finally admit it. So what they are about to say comes from hard-won truth. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Knight of Cups. Beautiful, because this says the truth arrives with heart, tenderness, vulnerability, the wish to finally place something soft and real into your hands. I keep hearing something very clearly. I have wanted to tell you this for a long time. That line lands right in the chest because it tells me the truth has history weight, a private life inside them. This is not a feeling that appeared yesterday and demanded expression today. This is something that has been living in them, growing in them, pressing against silence for longer than you know. And I think one of the reasons it becomes so emotional now is because they can feel how much time has been wrapped around these unsaid words. The energy around you here feels like the Queen of Cups. And I love that so much because it tells me your heart energy is part of what allows the truth to come out at all. This person may feel that you would understand what they mean even if the words come out imperfectly. They may feel that your emotional intelligence, your softness, your depth, your way of sensing what is real, all of that makes it possible for them to finally say what they have been carrying. In other words, your energy feels safe enough for honesty. Then I'm seeing the Three of Swords. And yes, there is pain inside this truth too. Regret, sorrow. The awareness that silence, fear, or delay may have already cost something precious. So I would not be surprised if what they reveal includes hurt. Not only this is how I feel, but this is what it has done to me not saying it. I feel like they may let you hear the ache, the emotional consequence. The part of them that knows this should have come sooner and wishes it had. Another message keeps rising strongly. I thought I could bury this, but it kept finding me. That line feels so honest because it tells me the truth has followed them. In quiet moments, in dreams, in memory, in longing. In the strange way the heart keeps returning to one person even while the mind tries to move elsewhere. Then the Two of Cups appears, and wow, that says the truth they are about to reveal is centered in connection, mutuality, the sense that this bond has never been random to them. They may tell you that something between you felt different, meant more, stayed with them in ways they could not explain away. And that is what changes the whole atmosphere. Once someone admits that the connection itself has been alive in them all this time, everything becomes more real. The deeper message in this next movement is this. They are about to reveal the truth because clarity has finally beaten confusion, and emotion has finally beaten fear. What they say may carry longing, regret, tenderness, and a very direct acknowledgement that this connection has mattered much more deeply than they let you see before. This is not surface truth. This is heart truth, finally reaching language. And Spirit keeps whispering one more thing here. The reason this is hitting now is because the heart can survive many things, but eventually it gets tired of carrying what the mouth refuses to say. This person has reached that point. And once they cross into honesty, I do not feel the energy between you will be able to go back to what it was before. Because spoken truth changes the room. Changes the heart, changes the future. And the truth here is already standing at the threshold, waiting to be let all the way through. You may feel it before they finish. A tremor in the air, a softening in your chest, that strange moment when your intuition says, yes, this is the thing they were always trying not to say. And when it comes, it will not feel invented. It will feel remembered, like hearing aloud what your spirit already knew, but needed their voice to confirm. That is why this truth matters. It does not create the bond, it reveals it fully. There is a feeling here like the truth has already stepped into the room before the person does. That is what this next movement feels like. Not hesitation anymore. Not confusion anymore. Not one more circle around the same buried feeling. This feels like the moment a heart decides that being understood matters more than being protected. The first card I'm seeing here is the King of Cups, and wow, this tells me the truth they are about to reveal is emotionally deep, steady, and real. This person may not be dramatic when they speak. They may not cry, shake, or spill every feeling in a wild rush, but do not mistake quiet emotion for small emotion. The feeling here runs deep. It has roots, it has history, it has been tested by time, distance, silence, and inner conflict, and it is still standing. That is why what they say will land with such weight. You will feel how long this has lived in them. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Six of Swords in reverse. This is huge, because it tells me they have not emotionally moved on from what this connection means to them. They may have tried to create distance. They may have tried to tell themselves that time would make things easier. They may have tried to leave the feeling alone and let it fade naturally, but it did not fade. It stayed. It followed them. It kept showing up in quiet hours, reflective moments, and in the places where the heart tells the truth, whether the mind likes it or not. I keep hearing something very clearly. I carried this farther than I ever meant to. That line says so much because it tells me this person is recognizing that what they feel is no longer a passing emotion. It is part of them now. The connection marked them, changed them, stayed alive in them, and I think one of the deepest truths they are about to reveal is that no amount of silence has erased your impact. The energy around you here feels like the Empress, and I love that so much because it tells me part of why this truth is finally surfacing is that they know your heart deserves something real. You deserve more than half-light, more than vague energy, more than being left to guess what was true and what was fear. This person is beginning to understand that truth is a form of respect. So when they reveal what they feel, some part of that comes from reverence, from seeing your worth more clearly, from knowing they can no longer come toward you with anything less than honesty. Then I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles, and that tells me the truth they bring may include something practical, a suggestion, a first step. A way forward. This is not only emotional spilling. I feel they may want to place something tangible beside the confession, a real next move, a chance to talk, a chance to meet, a chance to rebuild, a chance to start somewhere honest. Because when a person has held back truth for this long, the heart usually wants more than release. It wants response, it wants movement. Another message keeps coming through strongly. I don't want this to stay unfinished anymore. That one lands deeply because it tells me what is being revealed is not only feeling, it is intention. This person is tired of the incompleteness, tired of the emotional loose ends, tired of carrying a connection in silence while pretending it has no voice. They want to know what happens when the truth is finally allowed to breathe between you. Then the wheel of fortune appears. And wow, this says the moment is a turning point timed. Significant, the kind of conversation that shifts the whole energy of a bond, because once the truth is spoken, the old version of the connection cannot keep existing in the same way. Even if you need time, even if there are emotions to sort through, even if there is healing still happening, the truth changes the field, and Spirit is saying this person knows that they know what they are about to reveal matters. The message in this part is this: they are about to reveal the truth because they can no longer carry the emotional weight of silence, and because the connection has followed them too far, too deeply, and too honestly to remain unspoken. What they say may be calmer than you expect, but that calm will carry tremendous depth. You will hear the history in it. You will hear the history in it. And you will hear the unmistakable sound of someone finally deciding that real love, real feeling, and real respect require truth. And Spirit keeps whispering one last thing here. This confession is not arriving because the heart became suddenly emotional. It is arriving because the heart became finally brave. That is the difference. And when bravery sounds like love, the whole atmosphere changes. You will feel it before the sentence ends, before the eye contact breaks, before your mind finishes forming a response. The truth will already be there, between you, alive, undeniable, and impossible to return to silence once spoken. There is something about this next part that feels like the second after a secret is finally spoken, when the heart is still shaking, but the air is cleaner because the truth is no longer trapped inside. That is the energy here. Because what I'm getting now is not only the confession itself, it is the after effect. The emotional force of what happens once they reveal the truth and realize they cannot hide behind distance, silence, or ambiguity anymore. The first card I'm seeing here is the Ten of Cups. And wow, this tells me the truth they are about to reveal is wrapped in emotional vision, not just, this is how I feel, not just, I need to tell you something. This person is carrying a much bigger picture in their heart. They have imagined what happiness with you could feel like. They have imagined what peace with you could feel like. They have imagined what it would mean to stop losing time to fear and finally allow something warm, mutual, and real to unfold between you. And right beside that, I'm seeing the Knight of Wands. So yes, there is urgency here, passion here, a need to move, a need to act. I keep hearing something very clearly. If I wait any longer, I'll lose my chance. That line hits hard because it tells me this person knows the truth cannot sit inside them forever without consequence. They are aware now that staying silent does not freeze the connection safely in place. It risks letting it drift too far. It risks letting you believe the feeling was never there. It risks letting the moment pass, and I feel that realization is adding fire to their honesty. They are not only emotional now, they are motivated. The energy around you here feels like the Queen of Wands, and I love that so much because it tells me your energy is still incredibly alive in them. Magnetic, present, strong. I feel like part of why they are finally revealing the truth is because your presence in their inner world never really dimmed. You remained vivid to them, desired to them, significant to them. And when a connection keeps glowing in somebody's system like that, eventually the heart starts demanding that the person do something with it. Then I'm seeing the Four of Wands, and that is beautiful because it says the truth they are about to reveal does not want to create drama. It wants to create grounding. It wants to bring the connection into a more peaceful, honest, and emotionally safe space. I feel like what they say may include the desire to stop standing outside the doorway and finally step into something more real with you, something steadier, something clearer. Something that can actually hold both hearts without all the old uncertainty pressing against it. Another message keeps coming through strongly. I want this to feel real now. That one lands deeply because it tells me they are tired of loving you only in private, tired of knowing in silence, tired of carrying a bond internally while the outer reality stays unfinished. They want truth to become lived. They want the feeling to have somewhere to go. The next card I'm seeing is Strength, and wow, this says the reveal is taking courage. Real courage, not ego courage. Heart courage. The kind that asks a person to stand in their vulnerability without controlling the outcome. So if their voice shakes a little, if their eyes soften, if there is a pause where you can feel how much this costs them to say, Spirit is saying that is because the truth matters to them. This is not effortless honesty. It is brave honesty. Then the Ace of Pentacles appears, and that tells me what they are about to reveal may come with an actual offer, opening, or next step. They do not only want to clear the air emotionally, they want to build something from the truth, a conversation, a meeting, a beginning, a second chance. Some form of tangible movement, because once a person finally lets the truth out, the heart almost always wants to know whether that truth can live in the real world too. The message in this next movement is this. After they reveal the truth, the energy between you changes because the feeling is no longer hidden, the urgency is no longer denied, and the hope they carry for something real can finally breathe. What they say is not only about love, it is about wanting that love to become honest, grounded, and lived. And Spirit keeps whispering one last thing here. What makes this moment so powerful is that the truth is not arriving alone. It is arriving with desire, with courage, with hope, with a real wish to move the connection out of secrecy and into life. And once that happens, once the words are said, once the silence breaks, the heart will not want to go backward. It will want to see what becomes possible when two people finally stand in the same truth at the same time. That is what is opening here, not just a confession, a doorway, and the feeling on the other side of it is real. There is a feeling here like the truth has already crossed the distance before the words even finish leaving their mouth. That is what this final movement feels like. Not uncertainty, not half-light, not one more almost confession that leaves you with more questions than answers. This feels like the heart arriving fully. The first card I'm seeing here is the Lovers, and wow, this is the pure recognition of what the connection truly is. Not what pride tried to reduce it to, not what fear tried to delay, not what silence tried to hide. This is the moment the heart stops negotiating with itself and finally says, yes, this is real. Yes, this matters. Yes, I have to speak. So what they are about to reveal comes from a place that is no longer divided. Their feelings have chosen their truth, and right beside that, I'm seeing the Ace of Swords. Beautiful because this says the truth is coming clearly now, directly, cleanly, without all the smoke around it. I keep hearing something very clearly. I don't want you wondering anymore. That line means everything, because it tells me this person has finally understood that your heart deserves something honest. Not hints, not emotional leftovers, not silence that expects you to read between lines forever. They know now that the most loving thing they can do is tell the truth plainly, even if it shakes them, even if it changes everything, even if it leaves them exposed. The energy around you here feels like the Empress, and I love that so much because it tells me part of why this truth is surfacing now is because they see your value more clearly than ever. They know you are not someone to approach casually. They know your heart is not common.